When I was 16, 17 years old, I had no clue what commercial awareness even was. But as you start to apply to more jobs and apprenticeships, it's a phrase you might start to hear more often. And some studies say that it's the most sought after skill that employers look for. The Cambridge Dictionary defines commercial awareness as having knowledge of how businesses make money, what customers want, and what problems there are in particular areas of business. So that's useful. It seems like there are three main criteria for being commercially aware. 1. How does a business make and manage money? 2. What do its customers want? And 3. What wider problems or changes are affecting the industry or business? The reason businesses want these three attributes in particular is that most people only look at their own job. They're in this little box with a very narrow view of things. But your role sits inside a bigger system. And so when you don't understand how that system works, it makes it harder to work with other teams, for example, because you don't know what their function is. And it's much harder to innovate because you don't know where you have to innovate towards. So let's start with understanding the money. When people talk about a business making money, the simple version is that they sell something, get paid, and profit whatever is left after the costs. But that's just the basics, and it gets a little bit more complicated than that. You see, a business can't just think about how much money it's generating. It has to think about when it's coming in. How reliable is it? What happens if they don't pay on time? After a business sends out an invoice, it might not get paid for another 30 or even 60 days. And in that time, they still have staff to pay, and loans, and business premises, and all sorts of other expenses as well. Managing this is called cash flow. For example, a business might be profitable across the year, but still have pressure points in certain months. So they have to think about all sorts of other things like payment terms, taking deposits, chasing up the invoices, and having a bit of contingency money on the side in case you need it. A popular tactic is diversifying your revenue streams. Because different revenue streams are impacted by different external factors, it's unlikely that they will all fail at the same time. So a business might even decide to go for a less profitable strategy because it puts them into an untapped stream of revenue. And on top of that, for every single business decision they make, they have to look at the risk involved. So they have to do research into anything they can find, whether that's a history with third-party suppliers or making political and economic predictions in certain geographical regions. So analysing risk means assessing it objectively and quantifying it against the potential reward.